Paul Abbosh is the Managing Director for the GCC for Atkins, part of the SNC-Lavalin Group. And you are our host today, Paul, and you want to talk, push this concept of collaborative construction forward, contracting forward, and using alliancing models. So it follows on exactly from what Sean has just been saying. So I presume that you are in full agreement with what we've heard so far. How do we make it happen?
Thank you, Richard, and assalamu alaikum and marhaba. Good morning to everybody. I heard some really encouraging and good words coming out from our two client panelists and the contractors. The word trust was mentioned a number of times, and trust is fundamental. And I think it was Sean was saying, it's earned. It's not something that you can pick up. It needs to be earned, and we need to get there slowly. I'm a great advocate of collaborative working. I've spent half of my 35 years career in Europe and the UK, and the other half in the Middle East. With a background of project management, really. I've been able to work across a whole number of sectors: transport, pharma, defence, building, etc. And I've also been through all phases of a project. I've worked with clients, seconded into client organisations as a designer, looking after Dubai Metro and Riyadh Metro for the contractors, looking at how we can integrate design with construction to reduce the time and deliver a better product, and also working on as a contractor with SNC-Lavalin on building a hospital, and also on the FM side. So I've covered really all of the phases of the project, and I think I have a good understanding of how the effects of one part lead directly onto the others. Basically, I want to. Everybody has agreed today that current delivery models in the GCC seem to be failing, and there's a lot of potential there to improve for all of the supply chain, whether it's the client, the contractor, the consultant, and even all the way down into the subcontractors and the material and equipment providers and delivery people. Basically, this is evidenced by builders becoming more risk averse, and as we heard, even some are even departing the region. Clients need ever improving performances to overcome the effects of endemic time and cost overruns, and basically they need to also ensure that they get the best bang for their buck, given the decreasing funds resulting from COVID's effect on the GCC economies. So in order to get more projects out, we need to make sure that every dirham, every rial spent is much more effective. It became clearer that collaboration between project owners and their delivery supply chain is much more essential if we're to get the necessary infrastructure to be built in the future. I really want to just touch on one issue. I think that is very important to me. Basically, a collaborative working environment is one that most construction people want to work in. It provides a more pleasant and productive environment in which construction professionals can thrive and excel in their work. Sharing challenges, crafting solutions together as a team encourages innovation, cross-fertilization, continuous improvement, transfer of learnings. All of this is very important, and where you get delivery from a trusted and committed and motivated team. I mean, at the end of the day, who wants to go to work day after day, really acting as a quasi-lawyer, writing continual backside covering letters, engaging in constant stressful confrontations and arguments centered around blame? At the end of the day, as construction professionals, most of us chose this career in order to solve technical problems and build excellent infrastructure for society to improve people's lives. There's so much more to collaboration delivery over and above the aspect that I just mentioned, and really I'd like to pick on just three features to touch on briefly and hopefully start a conversation around them. I mean, the three key features of collaboration that I see. Key feature number one really is making sure that in the early days, the client's advisors and the client's different parts of the organization, and even sometimes different ministries, need to work together to optimize the requirements. Working collaboratively and openly between all client departments and client advisory consultants to optimize requirements, identify the major risks that projects will face, and establish clarity and consistency on client goals goes a hell of a long way towards making sure that everything that flows downwards from there works much more efficiently. The second issue I want to touch on really is one about the design. And again, as contractors, I think, and Sean will probably vouch for, getting a good, robust and well-coordinated design solves a lot of the contractors' problems. So it's vitally important that as designers, they have early access to all of the parties that have an influence over that particular design. And those parties, in terms of the level of their influence, will vary from project to project, depending upon what the project is. And in terms of stakeholders, I'll just mention some examples. I mean, as Sean said, it's important to have, in a lot of projects, early contractor involvement, early supplier involvement, understand how the contractor wants to build, what his sequence is, what materials he's going to use, what equipment specialist he's going to use. If the designer knows all of those issues from day one, that design will already accommodate those, and the delivery of the design will be in line with the contractor's sequence that he wants to build on.